Hello, everybody, and welcome to EduFocus series by the Network of Education Policy Centers. My name is Raffaella, and I'm very pleased to welcome Jane Esther from PRAXIS, our Estonian members. Jane, welcome, and thank you for joining us. And Tanel Keres from e-kool, a platform for school management. Thank you, Tanel, for joining us. Today, we will present one of the Network of Education Policy Centers Emergency Fund that was coordinating and is still coordinating by PRAXIS, Contact Grabber, Keep on Studying. So the premises of this initiative is that during crisis, as it was during the pandemic, the position of vulnerable students has become even more vulnerable, in particular students from low socioeconomic background. So through these initiatives, PRAXIS tried to pilot an intervention that is helping teachers in monitoring learning success and in helping students to keep on studying. So Jade, let's start from the basics. So how the pilot is working, how it works, and what is going on?
Okay, it's very nice to be here and then share our experiences regarding this project. So what we have done, we have basically created an early warning system for teachers and for the schools. And the aim is to prevent school dropout. For example, in Estonia, there is every 6th student who doesn't complete their studies within nominal time. So it is quite a big problem here. And of course, these people who are not completing their secondary school studies are more vulnerable in labor market and so on. So yeah, we have created this tool. The root problem behind these high dropout rates is that students' problems are often not noticed, or they're noticed too late when it has become already more complicated to intervene. And from the behavioral science, we also know that psychology or as humans tend to postpone the important decisions, and we tend to seek for further confirmation and information to be sure in our decisions. But this, of course, this is a very good thing that we as humans tend to search for this information. But sometimes it may lead to a very slow response or delayed responses when there is a potential problem. And so what we did, our intervention is basically a module that is built into the school's information system, e-kool or e-school in English, as we call it. And it's a platform that schools use in their everyday work, and where all the information and data about the students' study results and study outcomes is entered. Now, based on this big data, the system automatically searches for certain patterns in students' grades, absences, tardiness, negative remarks that refer to increased risk of dropout. And when the system has detected or identified such a risk, it sends a message to the class teacher and informs the teacher about that. So in this message, it's personalized in a sense that there is a student's name who might need help, and also social norm is applied in this message, which means that it says that how the results or the behavior of a specific student deviates from the others in the class. So it also encourages teachers to act. For example, it says that he or she should speak with student in order to find out whether there is a real problem and whether the student needs help. And so when the teacher receives this message or an alarm, she can decide whether she should react, or maybe it may not be relevant at all. So the teacher can also close the alarm. And also the teacher can add comments, make an agreement, and write that in the system as well. So there will be an history like that demonstrates what has been done regarding the problem, who has done something, who has reacted, and what have been the solutions, and so on. So that's basically it. Of course, yeah, there are like 3 different levels of alarms depending on how serious this pattern that the system has detected is. There is first level alarm, a second level alarm that goes straight to the class teacher. If it is a third level alarm, it goes besides the class teacher, it goes also to the support specialist. So there will be already more people engaged in this problem solution. So if you ask, does it help? I don't know yet. We're going to see it by the end of this school year when we see the results.
Yeah, we are really looking forward. I mean, each time that I've read about your project, I'm always impressed about how detailed you developed the system. And actually, it really shows that there are a lot of experts that have been involved to such accurate early warning system. And one of these experts is our guest panel from e-kool or e-school management platform. So I just would like to understand how the management school platform works a little bit, just to have a little bit of more context, because your platform brings together a lot of different targets. Pupils, their families, schools, supervisory bodies. So how it works and what you offer to all these different targets?
Thank you. Well, yes, as you already mentioned, it's a school management system what takes all of those relevant parties into one platform. So how we see it is that the information that is done or entered by the teacher is shared with all relevant parties right away. So this is the way how the system works. So teacher is the person who mostly enters the information, whether it's the absence in the classroom, whether it's a homework, it's a lesson description for kids who are ill at home, for example, so that they won't fall behind, or are those like grades for students and feedback, compliments, complaints, these kind of things, remarks, everything. So how we call it is that the teacher is the person who mostly, like 99%, enters the data, and this is then available for all the relevant parties. For example, students in the mobile app, in the web, for parents as well, for school management as a report, for let's say supervisory bodies like ministry level or local government level, also reports, and some other important information like number of absences or grades, something like that, number of students, for example, and so on and so on. So these are the things that that makes our school management system, and I described actually only the main feature, which is we call it the journal or e-journal. But of course, we have quite a lot of other things there. So maybe one thing that is worth of mentioning is that the system is built up this way, like following the once only principle. And what we think about it, or what we have in mind with that, is that the data is entered only once. So if teacher adds the information like a grade, it is available for that student. The homework is available for the whole class right away. And the term grade is ready to print out as a certificate or a report card. So you don't have to do any duplicate work. there. And now if we are talking about the tool that we developed all together, we basically use the same information that teachers are already doing, but we are just showing it a little bit of a different way so that it is easy and convenient to use, to see, to monitor, and so on and so on. So this is very briefly what is e-kool or e-school. So it's a school management system, and all the relevant parties are on that platform, and the information is shared with everyone who has the right to see it. Who has the right to see it? Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, this tool does not represent any extra work for the teacher. They don't have to have extra introduction of data because this is using the data that you already had.
Basically, yes. The only thing is that if you see the, let's say, the report or the information, you have to act somehow.
Yeah. Okay.
So the acting is the
but
additional work.
Helping them without requiring.
Yes. Exactly. So yes, we can say that it doesn't require any additional work from teachers.
And actually, the whole management system is an incredible source of data for planning, for monitoring and evaluation. I mean, it's
true.
Okay. As I said before, that it sounds to me that this really required a lot of experts and different partners. So who are the old partners involved in this initiative, Jane?
Well, our main partner is, of course, e-kool or e-school, who administrates the information platform and who has very good established information channels with the schools, who's communicating with schools, and also who's responsible for this technical development of this module. So basically, we are these two main, like PRAXIS and e-kool are these two organizations who are responsible for the project. But of course, if we are thinking like in a more generally, then we have engaged teachers and support specialists, for example, in the phase when we analyzed the problem and when we started to create this module and this intervention. So we have speaking with them. We have asked them like what kind of tools they would need in their everyday work, and we have also tested this like the initial versions of this module with teachers and asked for their feedback. So. And of course, the schools and the school masters have a very important role in this project as well, as we need their active consent to take part in this study. So their role is definitely very, very important as well. We have 31 schools who are participating in the study. We have divided them into two groups. One group who's like getting this new module, and the other group was using its doesn't get intervention, or who uses the normal practices they've used always. So yeah, like I said, like by the end of this current school year, we are going to see if there are any differences between these groups, and we can say that whether this module or this intervention really helps teachers and students to detect their problems and to solve their problems.
Yeah. I mean, we are, as I said, we are really looking forward. Then, when your company joined this initiative, what was your motivation? Why you decided to join this pilot project?
We did see that it actually gives a benefit for schools. So we actually didn't think too long, or actually we didn't think at all. So we saw that it definitely is the tool what perfectly matches to our system. And if there is some kind of scientific approach inside there as well, it definitely gives more value to our product as well. Yeah. So yes, it has already taken, like we discussed with Jana just today, that how much time it actually took. We would say even maybe 3 years or something like that to get to this point where we are at the moment, because at first you have to start with thinking about what kind of data you want. Then you start collecting the consents. Then you have to take the data out. You have to analyze it. You have to see the correlation there. You have to, let's say, design, develop, test. All these things, it took quite a lot of time. But I'm actually very happy that we are here now. It has taken time, but definitely it's time that we have spent for the good, say, how to say, for the better future, or however you call it.
Yeah,
better
sounds
tool.
like a very strategic partnership.
Absolutely.
So actually, the idea was here even before the pandemic. Maybe the pandemic just accelerated the process.
It's true, because yes, we started before, shortly before, or actually not shortly, but maybe half a year or something before the pandemic. And yeah, we started before, but we see that it is even more needed now.
Yes. 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 Okay. Thank you. Have you any personal expectations from this piloting?
Of course, I hope that we can give like a scientific approach about how to reduce the dropout rates, how to even better notice the issues on very first level, or at the beginning where the issues start to come out, and that doing so we have less unhappy kids, unhappy students who are struggling with themselves. So if we can do it, I would be very, very happy, and I definitely hope that all these results just confirm that we are on the right track, and maybe we even find some other things what we can include into our module, so that we can make it even more precise, or tune it up even more. Let's see. But at first we start where we are, and then we take one step at a time and see that where we end up.
Okay, thank you, Tanel, and thank you, Jane, for this overview of this project. We are always very thankful to our Estonian partners to bring in the network some very forward-looking initiatives and projects. My last question is for Jenny regarding the use of nudging techniques. We are now very kind of used to the use of nudging techniques for making personal choices. So why do you think we should use nudging techniques for making professional choices?
Mm-hmm. Well, in the center of the intervention or in the center of the problem is the behavior of a specific person, whether it is a student or whether it is a teacher. So it doesn't matter if the teacher is a professional or not, it is still, he or she is still a human, and it's a human being who makes decisions. So taking into account the insights from behavioral science and psychology it's just something that can always benefit us. And I think, yeah, especially in the professional context, if we can create a tool that assists teachers in order to make better decisions and give them more confidence through that. I think it would be good. And if I mean, maybe just one thing to emphasize is that of course the system sends a message and encourages teacher to act and take an action, but it is still up to the teacher decide what she's going to do, or whether she's going to react, when she's going to react. She can just monitor the situation. She can even close the message or the alarm, so she doesn't have to do anything. It's just a tool for her, and if she uses that, it might bring some benefits, and I think it would be good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, both, for this discussion, for this short conversation. It's a very quite new topic for us in the network, but I'm sure that we will keep talking about it because this is really a great opportunity to contribute to inclusion in education. So I guess that we will have another EduFocus in autumn where we will have the results. For us, for now, good luck with the piloting that started today. So this is also an announcement of the beginning of the piloting. So good luck, thank you, and bye to everybody.
Thank you, Rafaela.
Thank you.
Bye, Jane. Bye for now.